Let's take our prisons. It's the most controlled environment possible. People live in 6x8 cells. There are databases on who they are, what they've done since they were little kids in terms of criminal behavior. Long rap sheets and records. They're in the computers, all the information. There's psychological evaluations done on virtually all of them. That information is known. What medicines they're on, what medicines they need. It's the most controlled environment you can imagine. In addition, there are guards. There are guards with rifles. There are, other prison staff who walk the hallways. They have drug-sniffing dogs. They're monitored at all times. There's cameras in the prison. Are these dangerous places, these prisons? They're the most dangerous places on the face of the earth. It's an amazing thing. You have psychotics. You have borderline geniuses. All walks of life. And even in this environment, there are assaults, brutal assaults, rape, murder, despite the conditions of a prison. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you really believe that by gathering more data on more law-abiding citizens that somehow it's going to stop a criminal mind or a psychotic mind? Do you really believe that? Of course it won't. I mean, the illogic of this entire exercise, where people are going to fill out forms and confess, or fill out forms when they know they're going to use a weapon in ways that are illegal. When there are alternative ways, illegal ways, through the black market, in the shadows, to get these weapons. It's just so absurd. It's so silly. I mean, prisons, they're basically police states. They need to be there. Of course. It's not my point. My point is that if under those conditions we cannot stop people from being brutalized, from being murdered, then the idea that having more and more databases with more and more information about law-abiding citizens is somehow going to improve our criminal environment is nuts. It's illogical. It's irrational. And yet, that's what consumes our Congress. That's what consumes our president. They know it's illogical. What they're trying to do, Toomey and Manchin, is come up with something, some fig leaf, where they can claim that they walked a fine line successfully. It's all about politics. These politicians, they're self-aggrandizers. They stand there and they tell you they're trying to protect us. Really, they're trying to protect us? Well, let me ask you this question. If they're trying to protect us, if Barack Obama is trying to protect our children, if he's trying to protect us, then explain this to me, because I brought this up a few days ago, too. Explain this to me from U.S. News. Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York City ranked last in terms of federal gun law enforcement in 2012, according to a new report from Syracuse University. Federal gun crimes include illegal possession of a firearm in a school zone, illegal sale of a firearm to a juvenile, felon, or drug addict, and illegal transport of a firearm across state lines, already violating existing federal law. In Chicago, Obama's adopted hometown, where Michelle Obama went to promote gun control today, the majority of gun charges last year were for firearms violations. The districts of Eastern New York, Central California, Northern Illinois ranked 88th, 89th, and 90th, respectively, out of 90 districts in prosecutions of federal weapons crimes per capita last year. Why? Why? Has anybody asked Barack Obama why his U.S. attorneys haven't made this a number one priority? Has anybody asked Eric Holder why his U.S. attorneys haven't made this a number one priority before they pass more laws to smother you and me? Here we have people in databases because they've been arrested. Here we have people who are known criminals. Here we have people who have illegally acquired weapons. And they don't do a hell of a lot about it. These cities, goes the article, also have some of the nation's most restrictive gun laws, as well as the most active mayors in championing gun control. Well, of course, Bloom turd, you jerk. Rahm Emanuel, you crazy little ballerina. And Antonio Villaraigosa, which isn't even your real name, you jerk. All three of these jerks pushing national gun control. Why? Because they can't and won't manage their own cities. That's why. Political hacks all. Has Bloomberg or Villagrosa or Emmanuel, have they criticized Obama openly and repeatedly for the failure of their U.S. attorneys to prosecute federal gun violations in their cities? No, they have not. Why is that? Because politics comes first with the left. Always first. But you see, you and me, we're easy pickings. We have some little paperwork violation or something of that sort. Maybe we have 11 rounds rather than 10. You know what I'm saying. We're easy pickings. But really dealing with hardened criminals, gangs, drug pushers, mobsters, that's more work. They're not so easy. They don't just sign up. You and me, we're easy because we're law-abiding citizens. Look how these politicians, led by Obama, but the rest too, look how they move us in one direction or another. Reminds me of all the sparrows on a telephone pole, Remember those? Ever see those, Mr. Producer, where they all move in one direction or another? In unison. That's us. We're sparrows. They snap their fingers, we all turn that way. They snap their fingers again, we turn the other way. Today it's gun control. Tomorrow it's illegal aliens. The day after that it's whatever it is. Whatever it is. Health care, which it was before. This is no way to live in a free society, ladies and gentlemen. This is no way to preserve a free society. United States Senate, the least deliberative body on the face of the earth. Oh, yes, they're trying to divvy up our rights, tell us how we can live, whether or not we can protect ourselves, how much more paperwork we have to fill out to save the children. It's nothing to do with the children. It's not going to save anybody. Nobody. When it comes to federal prosecutions of gun violations, Obama is a disaster as he is in all other things. A disaster. Do the people in these communities rise up? Not at all. They vote for him. Do the media, other than U.S. News, report on this? No, they don't. They're pushing the agenda. Gun control. Not law enforcement. Gun control. And yet there will be no gun control except for the guns that you possess or wish to possess. There'll be more guns than ever before in the hands of more criminals than ever before. And yet this is what our lawmakers focus on. This is their concentration. Until, of course, we have a pathway to citizenship for millions of people. And here's the irony. We wouldn't need a pathway for citizenship, would we, if the border was secure and people were coming in here legally? The irony is, on the gun control debate, they want more data, and they want the ability to stop you. They say, if you're a criminal or potential criminal. Isn't that amazing? How does that work? I don't know, but that's what they're saying. They can't even stop people from coming here illegally. How are they going to stop people from getting guns illegally? They're not. So in the first matter, gun control, in addition to eviscerating the Second Amendment, in the first matter, gun control, they're going to control we the people. The second matter, illegal immigration and what to do about it, they're going to make sure people who are here illegally have a pathway to citizenship. See, the pattern here, ladies and gentlemen, is that we, the people, the real citizens of this country, the people who pay the taxes, the people who vote and so forth, we're the second-class citizens. We are. We're treated shabbily by these politicians.